You educated me to something right before we started I want to give you credit for. I say he should have pardoned him. And you said I'm missing the politics, the move, which was?
That this entire problem, this entire discussion with all of these people involved is directly the fault of the Justice Department, who dismissed the charges against Mayor Adams, could have just left well enough alone, but then they decided to put without prejudice, which really means we can bring this back whenever we want to. Mayor Adams, his lawyer said that doesn't mean anything. I don't know what he was reading. If it didn't mean anything, why did they write it?
Right.
They wrote it because if they felt that Eric Adams was starting to become too independent of them, starting to go on his own, and as he has done at other points in his career, that they would be embarrassed and he would mess up their plan to really drag every migrant out of New York that they possibly can.
So the straight move was for Trump to pardon him. You say can't pardon him because then he's got no hooks in him, whereas this deal says we'll reconsider after the election. So it basically makes Adams have to play ball for now through the duration of this cycle.
Right. And if you are a defendant in a trial, people can criticize you, but you're talking about your life. You're talking about your ability to continue to work. And so it would put anybody in a position where they would be compromised.
Right. So, and then we have the political question. Does Governor Hochul have the right? Yes. Is it right, in your opinion, to be holding these meetings and contemplating taking out the mayor?
Well, I think that she does have the right. I don't mind that she brought some people together to talk to her about the right, because, you know, one person, one governor can't always make all the decisions themselves. So she brings in a lot of people who have advice to give her. However, where's the picture of Eric Adams punching a policeman? Where's a picture of Eric Adams shoplifting? There's no evidence. There's no evidence. There is a perception that many of us have that he's cooperating with the federal government pursuant to the fact that they dismissed his case. But in my opinion, other than the fact that they make these allegations about him, I haven't heard of him actually doing something. I will say this one thing. It is interesting that the deputy mayors seem to be stopping short of saying something when they resigned. So if I were the governor, and this is what happened actually with Franklin Delano Roosevelt when he was a governor, he had hearings about Jimmy Walker before they worked it out, and Jimmy Walker went to London, was never seen again. But my point is that I don't see why they would remove this person from office when, if so many Democrats have a problem with what he did, there's this place for them. It's called a primary, and it's in June, and you can vote him out and pick another person to be the Democrat candidate for mayor.
Hearings, it's like the worst part. More process that seems about weaponizing the law to create a political end, even within its own party, which seems to be a specialty of the Democrats?
You might be right, Chris. I'll take it back.
No, I don't mean it that way. I mean that if you were to hold hearings, you know, we're not in the 1930s anymore. We know what those look like. It's like these guys are prosecuting each other every 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. But what I'm sort of just saying is there had to be some examination of evidence.
Right.
Rather than people coming in and saying, well, he said he was going to do this and that with the migrants and he didn't do it. Or he criticized Biden too much about the immigrants. Biden had the right.
That's not a crime. But if that's the beef, that he's working with the federal government, isn't this sanctuary city thing going to lose anyway in court? A state can't get in the way of federal operation of law.
This is the problem that states like Alabama and Mississippi had in 1965. They thought they could just ignore the 1964 Civil Rights Act, but the federal government and the federal courts upheld it, and New York would be placed in that same situation.
Governor Paterson does sanctuary cities or no? If the federal government said this is in contravention of our immigration efforts?
Sanctuary city would be seen that way based on how the courts are ruling now.
Would be a violation. Governor Paterson would be doing the same thing Governor Hochul is, and kind of at least giving a nod towards deciding this mayor's fate? Or would you say no, let the people decide?
I think I would have given everyone that had something to say a chance to come in, or a few people that would echo what Governor Hochul has been hearing the past week or week and a half. I'd hear them out. But if I didn't hear something that was clear and convincing, I would let Mayor Adams go ahead, run in the primary, and let the best candidate win.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.